Loki Season 2, Chapter 2. Earlier in the week and last week, I did give a little bit more thought to the first episode because it did genuinely confuse me. But I noticed that with this Loki series, they're taking different concepts of time travel, different paradoxes, and things like that, and they're kind of melding them together. And usually, when you see a time travel story in fiction, it's rarely done quite like this, where you combine different aspects of how time travel works. But the MCU and Loki is unchained completely, like the Van Halen song. So today, let's talk about the follow-up episode, Loki Season 2, Episode 2, as we continue with Loki trying to fix everything and, save the TVA, I guess. And we also find out that, well, we see Sylvie going into a McDonald's. This episode's called Breaking Brad, so it's a pun on Breaking Bad. But anyways, we left off in the last episode with her finding a McDonald's, and that was the cliffhanger going into this episode. What's interesting though is that we don't even see Sylvie, like the entire, it wasn't even focused on her. That wasn't even the important centerpiece here. This episode basically finds Loki and, of course, Mobius and the rest of the crew trying to find this guy named Brad. And there's some interesting performances here, acting wise. Like Loki and him are basically, he's trying to taunt Loki in a way, and Loki's kind of got him trapped in this little box thing. I didn't like that. I honestly, I didn't like that whole thing. I think it's just really slow. It feels pointless. It wasn't interesting. It just feels very, I don't know. Look, I watched Christian Harloff's breakdown, and he said that episode 2 was really bad and that he almost quit the series until he watched episode 3, and then episode 4 is supposed to be really good. So he's telling everybody to hang with the show and don't drop it. Now I kind of understand why he said that, because I'm literally I'm watching this, right? I'm halfway through the episode and I'm already wanting it to end. I'm already okay, this is going on for a long time. This is not connecting with me. I'm not interested. I don't know where this is going. And it just, the first episode was a bit confusing and befuddling. This one's just boring. The first one, though, it managed to have a degree of interest. And I'm just kind of bummed out because, man, Loki Season 1 was so damn good. And yet, here we have 2 weeks where episode 1 was okay, I guess. I appreciate it more now. But this one, I don't know, man. This is, it's not really for me. This whole thing with Brad is basically done to find Sylvie, and they could have cut a lot of this crap out and just either gone through it faster or maybe just focused on something else, or not even have it at all. Figure out a different way to get there, because to me this just once again just did not work. Also, I want to make a comment about something that I forgot to mention last week. Well, I didn't even know, but apparently I didn't even know that it was actually the actor for Ouroboros is Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I did not even pick up on that last week. I didn't. He's still here, but I mean, I feel like a fool because I saw him in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I know I'm familiar with the actor, but I didn't recognize him here. Maybe it just slipped my mind. I don't know. But yeah, the first half of this episode is trash. I mean, it just is. Things do pick up a bit more in the second half when Loki, thanks to Brad, does actually get to reunite with Sylvie. And it's kind of an awkward moment because, she remembers. She obviously remembers what happened with He Who Remains. Now she's working at that McDonald's, the one that she went to at the end of the first episode. That was in the trailer, so that's not too crazy. And I guess she's happy being there. Loki shows up and they have a conversation outside and they start to argue about what the consequences were of He Who Remains dying. And that's the fact that the branching timelines are branching and branching and branching. And Short Round actually mentions that this is a very dangerous thing and it's going to end up leading to the entire collapse of the multiverse if they can't try to control it as best they can. So basically, Loki's trying to get Sylvie to help them out. But Sylvie wants nothing to do with any of it. And she's mad at Loki because, they kind of had a difference of opinion here. And she's basically happy there, but he needs her. And, I mean, it is a lot more interesting than how we got here. So this ends up leading to a big battle at the TVA itself. And they're fighting, it's fine. It's nothing too crazy, just a fight. But Sylvie is there with them alongside Loki, Mobius, and, that whole squadron of main characters. There was this badass move where Loki and Sylvie held hands and then they sort of like mentally shot this green blast that pretty much took everybody out. That was a cool move. I don't really know what it is, but they did it. Sylvie's like, don't overthink it, and they do the move. So that helped. So it all leads to the timelines, or some of the timelines being deleted, and the people at the TVA are all bummed out because they're talking about how it was innocent people, variant or not, they are still living people dying at a very fast rate. It's the bittersweetness of it all. So Sylvie is disgusted by all of this and she leaves. She goes back home to that McDonald's, which is kind of like her place. So the episode ends soon after when she goes back home and she meets I don't even know who that kid was, some kid. I don't know if he's supposed to be from a different episode. Maybe I missed something, but I was checked out by this point. This episode was a waste of time. In my opinion, this episode was a complete waste of time, and I didn't like it. I did not like it. Christian Harloff nailed it 100%. I could totally see why people would want to drop the show. He's saying, hold on. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to keep watching, but this episode was a fail. They could have honestly, I don't know what happens in episode 3, but they could have told this story in a better way or just not done this, and I think I would have been happier that way. With that being said, man, those are my thoughts. A waste of time. Didn't like it. Take care. Have a great one. And I'll see you in the next review.